You call it loyalty. You say it with pride. You carry it like a medal pinned to your chest. You tell yourself that no matter what happens, you are the one who stays, the one who doesn't give up. You call it loyalty. You say it with pride. You carry it like a medal pinned to your chest. You tell yourself that no matter what happens, you are the one who stays, the one who doesn't give up, the one who doesn't walk away when things get hard. And yet, somewhere in the quiet moments, when the noise fades and there is no one to perform for, you feel it. The heaviness, the exhaustion, the subtle resentment you don't dare to name. You stay awake replaying conversations, you defend people who have hurt you, you explain their behavior to others, and more dangerously, to yourself. You convince your own heart that endurance is love. But what if the quality you admire most in yourself is the very thing draining your peace? What if your loyalty is not strength, but fear dressed as virtue? No one told you this growing up. Loyalty was sacred. It was moral. It was proof of character. To leave meant weakness. To detach meant betrayal. To choose yourself meant selfishness. So you learned to stay, even when the red flags appeared, even when your body tightened in warning, even when your mind whispered, "This is not right." You silenced the whisper. Because loyalty, you were told, is noble. But there is a shadow side to every virtue, and when loyalty crosses a certain invisible threshold, it stops being devotion and becomes self-abandonment. And that shift is so subtle that most people never notice it happening. They just slowly disappear inside it. Extreme loyalty is rarely about the other person. It feels like it is. It looks like it is. It sounds like it is. But psychologically, it is often about something much older. Something learned. Somewhere along the way, you discovered that love could be withdrawn. That connection could vanish. That stability depended on how well you adapted, endured, forgave, tolerated. Maybe you became the strong one. Maybe you became the understanding one. Maybe you became the ride or die friend, the partner who never leaves, the sibling who absorbs everything. You built an identity around being unshakable. And identities are powerful things. They protect us. They give us structure. They tell us who we are in a chaotic world. But when identity fuses with suffering, it becomes a cage. Because now leaving doesn't just mean ending a relationship. It means losing who you believe yourself to be. If you are not the loyal one, who are you? If you are not the one who stays no matter what does that make you? So you stay. Not always because you want to, but because your nervous system equates leaving with danger. And here is the paradox. The very mechanism you developed to keep yourself safe is now what keeps you trapped. Mental peace erodes quietly. It doesn't collapse in one dramatic moment. It thins out over time. You start monitoring their moods. You anticipate their reactions. You edit your words to prevent conflict. You swallow irritation because it's not worth it. You suppress anger because they didn't mean it. You downplay your hurt because they've been through a lot. Every time you override your instinct to preserve the bond, something inside you contracts. Your mind begins to split. One part of you sees clearly. Another part defends relentlessly. This is the internal courtroom. Evidence is presented, broken promises, disrespect, imbalance. But the defense is louder. They're trying. They're stressed. No relationship is perfect. And so the verdict is postponed again and again and again until you are living in chronic tension. That tension becomes anxiety. That anxiety becomes irritability. That irritability becomes guilt. Because you're supposed to be loyal. You tell yourself that commitment requires sacrifice. But sacrifice without reciprocity becomes self-erasure. And self-erasure is not love. It is abandonment. Just turned inward. There is a fear beneath extreme loyalty that few people dare to look at directly. It is the fear of being replaceable. The fear that if you stop overgiving, over-forgiving, over-understanding, you will be left. So you make yourself indispensable. You become the emotional anchor, the problem solver, the one who tolerates more than anyone else would. You believe that endurance secures your place. But here is what no one says out loud. The people who benefit from your lack of boundaries rarely ask you to develop them. Why would they? Your over-loyalty is convenient. It cushions their inconsistency. It absorbs their immaturity. It excuses their neglect. And the more you adapt, the more the imbalance grows. Until one day you realize you are carrying something that was never meant to be yours alone. Extreme loyalty also distorts perception. You begin to confuse intensity with connection. You mistake chaos for passion. You interpret volatility as depth. Because leaving would mean admitting that your investment was misplaced, and that realization is painful. So instead, you double down. You stay longer. You try harder. You forgive faster. You tell yourself that love means fighting. But there is a difference between fighting for a relationship and fighting against your own well-being to preserve one. One builds something mutual. The other slowly dismantles you. Peace requires alignment. Alignment between what you feel and what you allow. Between what you need and what you accept. Extreme loyalty fractures that alignment. You feel disrespected, but you tolerate it. You feel unseen, but you rationalize it. You feel exhausted, but you keep giving. Over time, this internal misalignment creates a low-grade psychological stress that never fully shuts off. You wake up tired. You feel on edge. You experience moments of unexplained sadness. Not because you are weak, but because part of you knows you are betraying yourself. And self-betrayal is heavy. It accumulates. Each time you silence your instinct, you teach yourself that your intuition is negotiable. Each time you minimize your pain, you signal to your psyche that your needs are secondary. Eventually, your body starts speaking louder. Tension headaches, restlessness, difficulty concentrating, emotional numbness. The soul whispers first. If ignored, it escalates. You may think that walking away is the ultimate betrayal. But staying in a situation that consistently diminishes you is a quieter, more devastating one. Because it erodes self-trust. Self-trust is the foundation of mental peace. When you know that you will protect yourself, your nervous system relaxes. When you know that you will leave what harms you, your body feels safer. But when you repeatedly override your own limits, your system learns that you are not a reliable protector. And anxiety thrives in that uncertainty. Extreme loyalty often disguises itself as morality. I'm just being a good person. But goodness without boundaries becomes martyrdom. And martyrdom breeds resentment. You may not express it openly. You may not even consciously acknowledge it. But it leaks out. In sarcasm. In passive aggression. In emotional withdrawal. In sudden bursts of frustration that seem disproportionate. Because suppressed anger does not disappear. It internalizes. And internalized anger often turns into shame. You start believing that your needs are the problem, that your desire for reciprocity is unreasonable, that your fatigue is a personal flaw. But wanting mutual effort is not selfish. Wanting respect is not excessive. Wanting peace is not betrayal. There is a moment, subtle but powerful, when loyalty expires. Not because love disappears, not because history is erased, but because the cost becomes too high. The question is not, have they hurt me? The question is, can I continue living like this without losing myself? If nothing changed for 5 years, would you feel proud of staying or quietly resentful? Extreme loyalty often attaches itself to potential. You stay for who they could become. You endure for the version of them you glimpse in rare moments. But relationships are built on patterns, not promises. And potential is not the same as consistent behavior. When you stay loyal to someone's potential while ignoring their present actions, you are investing in an imagined future at the expense of your current well-being. That trade-off accumulates interest, and the interest is paid in mental peace. Breaking the pattern does not require becoming cold. It does not require becoming indifferent or cruel. It requires recalibrating loyalty so that it includes you. Healthy loyalty says, I choose you, as long as choosing you does not require abandoning myself. Extreme loyalty says, I choose you, even if it costs me myself. One is partnership. The other is sacrifice without consent, and you are allowed to withdraw consent from your own suffering. You are allowed to say, this no longer works for me. You are allowed to outgrow roles you once needed to survive. You are allowed to redefine what loyalty means. Sometimes the most radical act is not staying. It is leaving gently, not with hatred, not with revenge, but with clarity. Clarity that your peace matters. Clarity that reciprocity is not a luxury. It is a requirement for sustainable connection. Clarity that your empathy should not become your prison. You can still be a loyal person, but loyalty should flow toward those who honor it, toward those who meet you halfway, toward those who respect your boundaries when you express them, toward those who do not interpret your limits as rejection. Because the right people do not need you to shrink in order to stay. They do not require you to endure harm to prove devotion. They do not test your breaking point to measure your love. Mental peace is not found in endless endurance. It is found in alignment. When your actions match your inner truth. When your yes is genuine. When your no is respected. When your presence is chosen, not compelled by fear. Extreme loyalty often begins as love. But if left unchecked, it becomes fear of abandonment disguised as virtue. And fear is not a stable foundation for peace. The shift is subtle but transformative. Instead of asking, how can I prove my loyalty? You begin asking, is this connection reciprocal? Instead of asking, how much more can I tolerate? You ask, what do I require to feel safe and respected? Instead of proving devotion through suffering, you express it through healthy boundaries. Because boundaries do not destroy relationships. They reveal their strength. A relationship that cannot survive your self-respect was never stable to begin with. If this resonates, do not interpret it as condemnation of your loyalty. Your loyalty likely came from love, from resilience, from a deep capacity for care. That capacity is beautiful. It does not need to be extinguished. It needs to be balanced. Your empathy is not the enemy, but empathy without discernment becomes self-neglect. And self-neglect is the quiet thief of peace. The invitation here is not to abandon loyalty. It is to expand it, to include yourself in it, to become loyal to your own well-being, to your own limits, to your own intuition, to your own peace. Because sometimes the most courageous act of loyalty is not staying committed to someone else at all costs. It is staying committed to yourself. And that is not selfish. It is survival.